Let's take a moment to consider some of the powerful and undeniable reasons why the censorship of Minister Farrakhan makes no sense at all and is actually an outrageous series of events. The scripture teaches that you know a tree by the fruit that it bears, and you shall know a man by his works. Let us apply this standard to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and see a clearer picture emerge of a man who, like Jesus, is being stoned for the good works he has done on behalf of the poor and oppressed. Did you know that Minister Farrakhan is considered the greatest minister and helper of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who stated, "Allah couldn't have given me a better helper. They can't help but follow a man like that. Got the whole big city New York all stirred up. If I was the other ministers, I'd take pattern after him." Did you know that Minister Farrakhan's early ministry was so effective, he was written about in Sepia's magazine as the miracle man of the Muslims? Author Sterling Hobbs noted that Minister Farrakhan's work produced 18 Temples of Islam in New York City, 4 Muhammad Universities of Islam, 1,000 plus average attendance on Sunday, 600 average attendance on Wednesday, 5,000 registered in New York City in 1973, and on radio in 150 cities each week. Did you know that Minister Farrakhan has been described as the greatest defender of Black people in America? Theology professor Andre C. Willis stated, "There is simply no Black person in the world that has over so many years been as consistent, as unrestricted, and as forthright in defending the humanity of Black people throughout the world against its attackers." Did you know that Minister Farrakhan has been considered the continuation of the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Journalism professor and editor Don Wycliffe stated, "Not since the death of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 has Black leadership spoken in a genuine, effective way to the souls of Black folk. Not, that is, until October 16th and the Million Man March. The genius of the event, which is to say the genius of Louis Farrakhan who conceived it, was to couch its purpose in religious terms: atonement, reconciliation, recommitment to God, women, family, and community. In so doing, he spoke to the souls of Black folk in a way that not even Jesse Jackson had managed to in the 27 years since Dr. King's death. In so doing, he transformed the Million Man March into an occasion for refusing accord, for reconnecting with the hopeful, faith-filled religious tradition that King represented and that seemed to fall into decay after his murder." Did you know that Professor Derek Bell said that all Blacks are asked to deny Farrakhan? This makes Minister Farrakhan the standard of Black leadership, the kind that the white power structure fears and seeks to destroy. According to Professor Bell, smart and articulate, Minister Farrakhan is perhaps the best living example of a Black man ready, willing, and able to tell it like it is regarding who is responsible for racism in this country. Every Black person important enough to be interviewed is asked to condemn Minister Farrakhan or any other truly outspoken Black leader. Did you know that legendary attorney William Kunstler declared Minister Farrakhan is the modern Black Messiah that J. Edgar Hoover wanted to destroy? He stated, "During his tenure and prior to the murder of Malcolm X, Director Hoover often spoke of the need for preventing the rise in this country of what he called a Black Messiah. Today, Minister Farrakhan, in my opinion, would be so considered, placing him in a great jeopardy." Did you know that former presidential advisor Jude Wanniski called Minister Farrakhan America's most important Muslim leader? He said, "I believe Minister Farrakhan is the most important Muslim leader in the world, who can best represent the concerns of the Islamic world to our government." See, Minister Farrakhan is frightening to whites, and I would surmise Blacks as well, because he emphasizes the masculinity of Black America, which has been crushed since slavery. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. represented the feminine side, and that is what has been permitted and what most white folks are now comfortable with. Did you know that Minister Farrakhan is condemned and criticized because of how significantly he threatens white supremacy? Chaplain William Alford stated, "Why has Farrakhan been branded a pariah by mainstream media? This writer believes it is because he represents a serious threat to America's racial hierarchy. The hierarchy cannot control or buy his accommodation or integration as a Black leader. He dares to point out and challenge the white supremacy. Farrakhan also has the power to initiate a call that let at least twice, and possibly 3 or more times as many African American men to respond as the U.S. Park Police counted, in spite of all the print aimed at discrediting the Nation of Islam leader and derailing the march. Did you know legendary writer and scholar Gwendolyn Brooks noted how Minister Farrakhan's work makes us all safer because of its ability to save lost souls? She stated, "Farrakhan, we don't have tea. I've met the avidly assaulted one once. About a quarter century ago, a woman poet, then a Muslim, brought him to meet my husband and myself. He was impressively relaxed. He bought no guards, no guns. We were impressed by his warm eyes, his kind patience, flexible dignity. He listened to our ideas. He listened to every word we said. He waited for us to finish our sentences. He never interrupted. Today, interruption is an art. He did not feel the need to pastor. At least, he did not pastor. He did not ask of us to join anything. This man I have not seen since. He is, however, a member of the Black family. He is a family picture. I look at this picture. I don't want to forget that this individual has saved a lot of sick-souled, gasping, barefooted blacks no one else cared to save. He has fed them, medicated them, intoxicated them, schooled them, thus making many of our lives, homes, and little children a smidgen safer. We believe that the continued censorship of Minister Farrakhan constitutes a wicked campaign to silence Black America's cry for justice and liberation, and we believe that it is a paternalistic continuation of the master-slave relationship into the modern era, and suggests that Black people do not have the freedom or right to choose who should speak for us. And we believe, furthermore, that the cries of justices made by the oppressed should not have to conform to the likes or dislikes of our oppressors. The strength and passion of Minister Farrakhan is a stinging rebuke of white supremacy. The proper response is to reason with his very substantive critiques and to atone for the century-long holocaust of suffering imposed upon the American Black and indigenous peoples.